Hey, what's up, my little Tattle Tells? Listen, I just got off live, but I had to go live again and talk to you guys about this. You guys, Wendy Williams is in real danger. Now, I know we've done a lot of lives about the court documents. I know we've done a lot when it comes to what's actually going on with Wendy Williams. I was one of the main people saying, yo, is her ex-husband Kevin trying to get guardianship on her? You guys, it is worse than we ever suspected. Wendy has come out and made a definitive statement. And y'all, they are 100% trying to Britney Spears Wendy Williams to the point of her manager, her ex-manager that she don't mess with anymore, Lori Schiller, and a doctor that doesn't even work with them anymore have all been communicating, and they're putting the pieces in place to literally steal her fortune. You guys, first, I got a video that I definitely want to play with you. Play you from Wendy Williams herself. She came out and made a statement, and there's also a video.
My thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. And Lori Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. This is not right. And you know this is not fair. And this guy named Bernie Young, I know for a fact that Bernie Young used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. Bernie Young, you're no good. And this is not fair at all, you know? And then there's this person, a former doctor, okay, had medical information about me that I never even got. It was sent over to Lori Schiller. So I haven't gotten the stuff. I fired the doctor. And again, all I want to know is, where is my money? This is not right. And certainly, this is not fair. This is not fair. You know, Wells Fargo has used all this stuff to create the guardianship over me. This is not right. And certainly this is not fair. The New York court system is, without evidence, they're being weird to me, this court system. Without evidence, they took all this information and continued with what's going on with me based on what Wells Fargo is doing. This is not fair. This is not fair, you know? And the New York court is treating me like they did in, do you remember Kung Fu judge case? Do you remember that Kung Fu judge case? That's not right, and that is not fair. Lori Schiller, Bernie Young, and Wells Fargo, please let me have access to my money. This is not right. And again, this is not fair. Have a pleasant day. Thank you.
Okay, so a couple of things we actually need to talk about this. That is just one tip of the iceberg. I couldn't even do my little cartoon face. Don't make me put lipstick on. I couldn't even do my cartoon face because this is actually really scary and it's really serious. They literally are trying to Britney Spears a Wendy Williams. The Sun has an exclusive. Now, if you guys are wondering what this, first of all, let me take you through the things she was referencing in the video. Lori Schuler, as you know, is the financial consultant for Wells Fargo. Lori Schuler, on an anonymous tip of a concerned person, literally said, we need to file for guardianship and protect Wendy's Wendy. Now, Kevin, if you guys have watched the live on my channel, Kevin went live last night and said, Wendy's been basically whatever she's been doing, this has been an issue for years. They didn't care that she almost OD'd. That's what I took from it. She had a serious medical emergency, 2 blood transfusions. They did not care. They were trying to push him out the way so they could literally let Wendy go off in the deep end, and they thought they could control. Kevin went as far as to say that Wendy was worth more dead than alive to her management team. Kevin was very specific to say to the management team, right? And I remember thinking, who is the management team? Who exactly is doing all this? However, Wendy did the 1-2 punch. She went live and she literally said that Bernie Schuler, that guy that came out and made a statement, and Whitney was like, I mean, not Whitney, I keep calling her Whitney, but it's so apt right now what's going on. Wendy was saying, he doesn't speak for me. I'm just giving you guys the background, and then I'm going to get into the new stuff that's happening and wrap it all up around Wendy's video. Okay, so she said, these people don't speak to me, don't speak for me. Wendy is alleging that Lori Schuler, who was a friend for years, until she said, I don't want Wells Fargo to manage my money. It is assumed that she made that request when her son, Kevin Jr., came on as power of attorney. Kevin Jr. may have saw something that looked funny. Wendy called Wells Fargo, contacted Lori, and said, something funny is going on with my money. What's going on? This and that. Have my son take care of it. Now, around this time, it's important to mention, I know this sounds like a Tom Clancy novel, but this is really happening. Around this time that Wendy started to ask questions about her money is when all these anonymous sources popped up on all the major blogs and on radio and in newspapers without actually stating any significant fact that Wendy had dementia. Wendy wasn't of sound mind. Wendy was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Myself and a bunch of people said, Wendy ain't doing nothing but drying out in rehab. And no shade to anyone that's been through rehab. I meant to say she didn't have late stage Alzheimer's or dementia. She was going through rehab like we've seen her go through plenty of times. Even in that video, you see Wendy with nervous tics. It looks like someone who has anxiety, is nervous, is suffering from ailments, but is coming out of rehab and is in the middle of getting clean. Wendy said, give her 3 months. Usually it takes 3 to 6 months for someone to completely kick whenever they relapse with narcotics. To me, everything is lining up. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So what happened? Wendy said, what's going on with my money? All of a sudden, there are all these things falling up on the Ricky Smiley show. All this, Wendy's dementia, Wendy's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Wendy's this. The people that know Wendy were like, we saw Wendy. Wendy seems fine. Yeah, she's going through something and it's personal, but she seems fine. Lori Schuler, Wendy is alleging, and she alleged in that video, that Lori Schuler, Bank of America, combined with her ex-manager, who she wants nothing to do with, and get this, she's wanted nothing to do with that ex-manager for a while, literally are moving together with Bank of America to put the ex-manager that she separated with a while ago in charge of guardianship of all her money and her fortune. Wendy has a son. Wendy has an ex-husband. Wendy has sisters. Wendy has brothers. Wendy's own sister is an attorney. Why is the only person that is good enough in the eyes of Wells Fargo and Lori Schuler to deal with Wendy's vast fortune, an ex-manager that she wants nothing to do with? An ex-manager that she wants nothing to do with. The only thing the ex-manager has is that the ex-manager, it seems like, is willing to keep the money in Wells Fargo, allegedly. Now get this, there's an extra piece. If you guys think I'm making this up, or like Wendy said this out her own mouth, right? Hey, thank you so much for the super chat, Brim. And y'all, hit that like button for me, please. Come on. I searched the internet for this truth for y'all. And y'all know I love bringing the mess. I even dropped the cartoon Abby because this was a serious situation. And now I'm coming to y'all talking with my real face, all right? So listen, right? Where was I? Oh, that's right, dishing dirt. But this is actually serious. Let me stop playing. At the same time that Lori is moving with this ex-manager that Wendy wants nothing to do with, mind you, like Kevin said on his live last night, Wendy's been messed up. They've been seeing her on drugs. They literally stopped her from getting emergency medical care when she needed 2 blood transfusions. They literally, when that rumor that came out, apparently Kevin says it's real. When Wendy was taping the show and she started stripping down and playing with herself and being really explicit, all they did was cut the feed to the cameras and leave DJ Booth there to deal with it, but told DJ Booth they couldn't send any emergency medical technicians. He had to find private. They left him with no support at all. For those of y'all that have said, well, so what? Wendy was up. Let me tell y'all something. Jimmy Fallon has long been rumored, right? Or is it Jimmy? No, Jimmy Fallon has long been rumored to be a functional alcoholic. The studio sent him to rehab allegedly plenty of times. They prop him up. They work around the show. They make sure his sober coach is right there with them. Wendy got none of that support. Kevin does wonder why. Now, listen, this is not saying Kevin is not innocent, because you know how I know Kevin's the reason Wendy was losing her damn mind and that mess he did with Sharina. But I'm just gathering information. At the same time that all this is happening, that the manager quietly took Wendy's American Express card and used her American Express card, her funds, without her permission, to hire a lawyer to secretly work with Bank of America and get guardianship before her family could find out. Before her family could find out. Now ask yourself why Wendy, the queen of media, they got a son, they got this, they got that, they got a sister who's a lawyer. The only one good enough is a complete stranger who will literally play ball with the networks and also play ball with Bank of America by not moving that money. One, if he gets power of attorney and guardianship, Wendy can't sue the networks for wrongful firing. Wendy can't sue the network for not giving her denying her the emergency medical care that every employee is worth with your employer. For instance, if you cut your arm off at work, or if your employer sees you having a heart attack, they must 100% make sure they give you the care you need, because while you are an employee, or even if you are even under their care in their facility, forget about, I know Wendy's a partner, but just follow me with this. They have a legal duty, a duty of care to make sure you get the necessary treatment. The fact that they denied Wendy necessary treatment and cared more about keeping it secret than actually keeping her safe, I don't care what y'all say. I'm telling y'all that is a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And I mean double-digit multi-million. Kevin knows it. Wendy's knows it. Wendy's lawyer knows it. This stuff has been moving around in the background. So what do? You get somebody that to the court looks like, oh, they care, right? Oh, you're a manager. You've been managers for years. But money makes people act strange. Kevin said they look at Wendy as a commodity. That manager is willing to play ball, it looks like, this is all alleged, and not go after Deb Barb Mercury and Lionsgate for the way they need to be sued for what they did to Wendy, and literally let Bank of America still keep her huge fortune, which is rumored to be at about $40 million in the bank. While all this is going on, there's another puzzle. There is a doctor, right, that sent on Lori Schiller's request. This is a bank, a financial institution. They have no right to her medical records without a court order. That manager does not have power of attorney or guardianship. The manager has no right to give out her medical records without Wendy's explicit permission. This doctor then sent medical records directly to Bank of America and Lori Schiller to back up with this manager that Wendy been cut ties with, that doesn't want anything to do. Wendy is claiming she does not know about these medical records. She does not know what they say. She doesn't even know these medical records existed. Everybody's being quiet. Everybody's playing dumb. Nobody is giving her access to her money. This guardianship trial is going on. And if we take guardianship for a joke, Don't, because we all saw what happened to Britney Spears and how long it took her 10 years where they basically enslaved her and made her work for even the slightest thing, like a cup of frozen yogurt or some whatever. They basically enslaved Britney Spears. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to use slavery as a thing. She was not a slave, but they tried to make her into basically a hostage who had to work. They made her into a hostage who had to work. And that is what they are trying to do with Wendy Williams' fortune right now. According to Wendy Williams, the video I just played, and I'm also cross-referencing this with everything I've been reading and also the live that Kevin Sr. did last night. Now let's talk. We're going to talk about that live in a second because a lot of you guys had a lot to say. It did humanize Kevin to me, but the takeaway was, right? He's still not ish because I remember what he did to Wendy, but the takeaway was there are powers bigger that be. And I truly believe the only reason Kevin is speaking out now is because his money's messed up too. And you know what? I do apologize because I thought that this was Kevin. I did. I know they have a tumultuous, well, from what I've seen, they have a tumultuous relationship. You saw from that live, there is no love lost between Wendy and Kevin. Kevin is so mad at Wendy, he can't even say Wendy's name. If you looked at that live, he basically, this is why he's suing Deborah Mercury, because while Wendy's assets are frozen, Kevin can't get his alimony. And as much as he says Wendy should have focused on raising a family instead of getting money, her getting money is the reason Kevin can even be in Florida with the love of his life, Sharina, and their baby, right? And if he loves Sharina so much, and if Sharina is his ride or die, baby, why aren't you married to her? That's right, because you don't want that alimony that she literally busted her butt to make. You don't want that alimony drying up, right? You don't want that alimony drying up. So as much as you talk about Sharina being your ride or die, she ain't your ride or die more than that paycheck. But that's not, let's put that to the side. I was one of the people that really thought that Kevin was the one going through conservatorship because I said, who would be so low down? Who would be so conniving? And who would have that much anger toward Wendy? Now, listen, it's debatable whether Kevin is low down and conniving. However, the anger that Kevin had to his ex-wife, even in that live, I posted it on my video. If you don't want to know what I'm talking about, when I leave this live, go look at my channel. I actually posted his Instagram live where he explains everything. He couldn't even say her name. He referred to her as my son's mother, that person, someone, somebody. He wouldn't even say Wendy's name. To me, that screams animosity. But forget all that. Let's talk about what Wendy, plenty of times, he said the studio, they're evil, they're snakes. And I thought he was talking about Deborah Mercury because he kept saying the people that manage her, the people that manage her. Now I know what's going on. He was talking about her manager. Now let's go into this exclusive that the Sun broke this story. The Sun broke this story, right? Let's get into it. And this was corroborated by Wendy's video that I played earlier in the live stream. It was corroborated by Wendy Williams out of her own mouth. Now let's just talk about the lion in the lion in the room. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Wendy does not seem to be 100%. However, there's a difference between drying out in rehab, right, for whatever her issues are, and being to the point where you need a guardianship to come over. Say what you want. Wendy does not seem as fast as we remember her. Her eyes were a little bulgy. You could see but in my opinion, I could clearly see from the video. You can think for yourself. You have deductive reasoning. You can recall names. You can clearly express your opinions. You are legally sound enough to manage your own money. Let me tell y'all something. A bank can protect your money if you are legally unsound. I saw the video. To me, you look of sound mind and body enough to manage your money. Now, let's have another conversation before I get to the details of this Bernie Young that Wendy called out for, that literally is trying to Britney Spears Wendy Williams. I honestly do believe that if Wendy Williams was Ellen DeGeneres and she gave her only heir and her son, right, who everybody says is a beautiful person, a gentle giant, a beautiful soul. Nobody has anything wrong to say about Wendy's son. Regardless of what Wendy and Kevin both went through, did to each other, he turned out phenomenal. Kudos to the parents. I don't think that if Wendy Lou, and I'm going to say it for all y'all being like, oh my God, everything ain't about race. It's not, but sometimes it is. Sometimes everything is about race. I really do believe that if Wendy looked like Ellen DeGeneres, and Ellen DeGeneres had a college age son that was her only heir that loved this mommy more than anything, they wouldn't have said, oh my God, she's going crazy. You want to give a 20-something-year-old young Black man control of $40 million? Oh, no. They literally saw that. And instead of seeing a son that was 10 toes down for his mama, and he is, and he's always been, right? He's not an exorbitant spender. He don't be in Wendy's pockets like that. He's not like a Tindler swindler. There's nothing to suggest that this boy is out to like spend it in the bottles. But even if it was, it's her only son. But you took one look at this little boy, right? Who's 20-something years old, and you somehow decided that Wendy was in danger of her only son taking advantage of her. Wendy was in danger of her only son taking what was hers. Wendy was in danger of literally taking one of Wells Fargo's, that New York branch's biggest cash cows, and taking that money elsewhere because Wendy had questions about what was going on. Rem, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all, listen, we just getting warmed up. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in and also share this live. It has Wendy's exclusive video that she just did telling her side of the story. And now I'm filling in the blanks. Let's get into this. I'm going to read off the screen because it's breaking news. And because anyone that knows my channel, I'm always reading off my phone screen. So let me stop acting bougie for company. Y'all know what the deal is. So here's what it goes. Wendy Williams' ex-manager has filed to be her legal guardian as she suffers from serious health problems, the Sun has exclusively reported. The ailing TV's host, former manager Bernie Young, who's 75. How the hell is a 75-year-old man filing to be the guardianship of your whole estate? That man's 75. He might not even be and listen, no shade to his age, but he's 75. Wendy is 57, and she can clearly think on her own, like you saw in the video I posted. Lily Addy, thank you so much for the super chat, mama. I appreciate it. But anyway, Bernie Young, 75, who she fired earlier this year, quietly filed papers in New York court amid her legal battles to gain control over her Wells Fargo bank accounts. Multiple sources have confirmed. Now, let's just pause right there because this is the mess that has me heated. Everybody saw Wendy going through struggles over the past 4 years, including Kevin Hunter. My apologies to that man for even pointing the finger and thinking he would do something this low down. Kevin did some messed up stuff, but he ain't do this. This is on a different level. This is pure evil, right? Now, Wendy literally with Wells Fargo, they know she's been in rehab a bunch of times. They've seen her on falling out on the show. We saw her with the Statue of Liberty where she was tilting to the left and was like, lean with it, rock with it, right? We saw Wendy doing all that mess. Bernie ain't have nothing to say. He didn't care. As long as Wendy was in there and she could get paid, he was fine, allegedly, to let her do whatever she wants and pump her full of whatever. He was one of the people that I believe Kevin Sr. was referring to, that when Kevin Jr. saw his mom about to lose her life laying out on the floor, he literally refused to let medical technicians come in. Yo, check Wendy's life insurance and see if Bernie Young don't got a life insurance on Wendy Williams. I'm not even joking, right? Bernie was one of the people that refused to let the medics upstairs, to the point of Kevin Jr. had to threaten to call the cops on them for them to be able to be let up, right? To give his mom 2 blood transfusions, and thank God saved that woman's life, right? Hey, what's up, Aurelia? What's up, Aurelia? What's going on? Thank you so much for the super chat. Now, let's get into the next thing that they're talking about. One source close to Wendy told The Sun that Bernie filed a petition for guardianship over Wendy about 2 weeks ago in the Seal case, though she wants nothing to do with them. Again, how is the New York court system going through with this? Wendy has enough family. Why would you let someone, but then again, that's what they did to Britney Spears, right? Britney Spears said she wanted nothing to do with her dad. Her dad had abused her mom, had abused her. She hated her father. But her father came through with those guardianship papers and was able to look rational, and they gave that man dominion over Britney for 10 years. She is just getting out. And I don't care what y'all say, the psychological damage that befell Britney under guardianship, she's going to take another 10 years to get out. Y'all, listen. Though Wendy distanced herself from Bernie in recent months, a second source claimed that during the Wells Fargo legal case, the bank said Wendy's former manager was someone who was acting in her best interest. Let me get this straight. The girl, Wendy does not have dementia. You guys stop. We saw the video. She does not have late stage dementia. Early dementia, fine, but you don't need people are walking around with early dementia. That does not mean you are not of sound mind and body. You gave power of attorney to your son. You have a sister who's a lawyer. You have family. You have close friends on your family side, but also even the lawyer you just hired. How is it that Whitney is, why do I keep calling her Whitney? But because it keeps ringing through my head. I'm so scared. Hey, B, thank you for the super chat. I'm so scared something's going to happen to Wendy Williams, right? And the same way Whitney Houston was nothing but a commodity that everybody worked until she met her unfortunate end. Is the same thing I see happening to Wendy if this guy Bernie is going to be allowed to take over. Again, the fact that this man was able, who is the bank to say who's the best person to manage Wendy's funds? Why do they even have a say in who can manage Wendy's funds? Why? Because when Bernie was working with that bank, Wendy never knew what was going on with her money. And as soon as she gave her son power of attorney, that's when all of a sudden it became a big issue. Y'all, listen, people act funny for $50,000. Just imagine when $50 million is on the table. Literally. The fact that this man denied his mom medical care, denied Kevin Jr.'s mom's medical care, and now quietly the bank is backing this guy. Y'all, Wendy is just a paycheck. They don't care nothing for her. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets conservatorship. I hope he doesn't. And Wendy winds up in a mental hospital for the rest of her life, drugged up on lithium and Xanax and whatever else they give you, right? Just because it'll keep her quiet. Again, let's go on through this, right? Now, I want to say that even though this is his sources, I'm willing to bet these sources are Kevin Sr. I think he stepped in not because he cares about not because he cares about Wendy. Kevin Sr. stepped in because his money's messed up too, and I think he never thought it would be this far. Kevin got a lot of animosity toward Wendy, and I know y'all don't got to tell me. I know the mess that he did to Wendy, but that's for something else. This is actually deeper. This is deeper because once they keep her money, just like with Britney Spears, they're going to have to keep her drugged up with psychiatrists that are gaslighting her, with surveillance in her room, doing everything they can to keep her a caged golden goose that can keep on laying those golden eggs. The reason why I do think that this is Wendy's camp talking to the paper is because look at the 1-2 punch. Kevin tried to do a live the other day. I talked about it. Instagram literally said his account had been suspended for something. I follow Kevin. Kevin will be having nothing on his account. I followed ever since this mess started just to see if I could see anything. Y'all know I be like with my investigation glasses. Kevin didn't have anything at all on his account, but yet they wouldn't let him go live. Kevin, you know, he's from the streets. He figured out a way to make that chopper sing. He figured out a way to make it work. So what did he do, right? He hopped on another Instagram account, did the live. If you guys missed it, please go watch my channel. The live is there. Hey guys, hit the like button. There's 738 people in. I know I'm hyped and on one. I feel like we got to fight the Lord. Listen, when this live is over, let's do a prayer circle. Wendy needs every bit of prayer that she can. She really honestly does. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, this is her karma. Let me tell y'all something. If Wells Fargo can do this to somebody worth $40 million, what you think they're going to do with you when your checking account is overdrawn every third Thursday? Stop it. What you think you're going to do, what they're going to do to you where you sitting there just nervous as hell that rent is going to be like, don't buy any Starbucks, waiting for that rented thing. What are they going to do to you, to me, to us? They're doing this to somebody that's worth $40 million, that got lawyers, that got power, that got fame and got notoriety. You can say this is Whitney's karma. I know I keep calling her Whitney, y'all. I'm sorry, Freudian slip. You can say this is Wendy's karma, but baby, this karma is going to come back and affect all of us. So we might as well hold that line and be like, listen, if you believe karma is a thing, that's fine, but not like this, because this karma affects all of us. We need to look past the present moment of what we personally feel about that person and look at the situation and how it's indicative of things to come for all of us in the future. I know we live in a society where everything's Instagram, TikTok, Listen, I vlog, I talk trash for a living, right? I know I love talking mess, but there's a time where we literally have to stop and say, what is happening now to this person, regardless of how I feel about you, is indicative of things to come for all of us. So I need to hold the line, because while you might think it's funny that your worst enemy is getting arrested and thrown in jail for no reason, I'm just giving an example, and you're laughing, ha, 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 they got you. What you gonna do when they come in and bust your dare down and drag you out, and they still don't got a reason? Then you gonna want people to be fair? Then you gonna want people to treat people equally, then you're going to care about rights. Oh, so when it's your rights, we can care about rights. But when it's somebody else's rights, oh, whatever, they deserve it. No. This present moment is indicative of what's to come. So I'll hold the line now, so I don't got to hold the line when they decide they want to kick in my door. They'll think twice before they kick in my door, because they're like, well, hold on, we can't do that because it's already been proven we can't do that. So let's just hold off. This is why it's important. And for all y'all thinking this sounds like some cloak and dagger, listen, I've been calling this from the beginning. The Tattle Tells have been calling this from the beginning. Wendy's been calling this from the beginning. But finally, she came out and spoke. Y'all, this is ridiculous. Listen, exactly, Dan Adams. You said people say it's her karma, but what about the people who were tuning in and making her famous? They also deserve. Listen, when people say it's karma, I realize that when somebody dislikes someone, it's a human nature that they want to see something bad happen to the person. We all have that in us. It's a human trait. However, once you learn to the world and the way of the world, you realize that's why we call equality for everyone. Because while I might like to see your door get kicked in, next time they got a problem with me, they're going to kick my door in. So why I don't like you, no, you can't go kick this girl's door in. You can't. Because guess what? You can't kick my door in. We got to hold the line together. It does not escape my attention that every single time these things that encroach on a person's rights, not every single time, but a lot of times, the way somebody encroaches on somebody's rights for people that look like Wendy and people that look like Kevin Jr. Do you see what I'm saying? Kevin Sr. was an MFer to Wendy, yes, but did Kevin Sr. get the respect he should have gotten for literally producing the biggest daytime talk show in our current time? Absolutely not. And it don't matter how I feel about him, I still recognize that Deborah Mercury was wrong for what they did, and they need to pay that man they need to pay that man what they owe him. B said, yep, watch how you let people treat others. It's how they treat you if they could get away with it. Exactly. Listen. No, you don't understand. Here's the thing. Let me get back to this article. But let me play with it. Said he ain't need respect. Wendy was the talent. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to working behind the scenes in movies, TV, whatever you want, the talent is the front facing. And the talent 100% deserves respect, because the talent are like a rare jewel, right? You can't find a Hope Diamond everywhere. The talent is a rare jewel and should be treated like that. But let me tell y'all something. If you think that talent alone is enough to get you where you got to be, you are delusional and you need to grow up. Look around at your friends and family. How many people you know that are beautiful or smart or intelligent or ingenious or all the above? How many people do you know? Think about the people you know. The people you know that are just, that you know in your heart, they should be up here. They should be running corporations. They should have their own auto body shop. They should have their own computer stuff. They should have everything. But the thing is, yeah, they got the talent, and yeah, they might got the brains, and yeah, they might got the beauty, but they don't have anybody in their corner helping navigate the sharks. Because what the producers do and what Kevin did is he navigated those sharks. And an industry that wanted to treat Wendy like she was a commodity, let her literally shoot herself up into the moon until she deleted herself from the earth, extracted everything that they could get from her and add dollars and then throw her away. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all need to grow up and be wise to the ways of the world. Good people do not always win. Bad people do not have horrible lives. You need a team in your corner. You need people to pull through. And for those that say that a Black producer on the #1 daytime, then ask me this: how come when it comes to the Emmys, why is there Emmys and Tonys and SAG awards for Best Producer? You might not think it matters. You might not. And listen, I'm not defending Kevin. Kevin is a piece of woo, right? This ain't defending Kevin. This is about just looking at the situation and not in this moment of how we feel about everybody in the moment or what it's indicative of. If y'all think that a producer don't mean anything, then why is there not Grammys? Yes. Why is there Grammys, Tonys, all these awards for Best Production, Best Producer, Best Assistant Producer? Yeah, they give those awards off cameras, but don't sit here and act like it don't mean anything. And don't sit here and act like sometimes producers are even better paid than the talent. Let's be real and let's call a spade a spade. Keep how you feel about the people involved out of it and look at what is happening. Rim, thank you so much for the super chat. Rim says the story unfolds. The legal angle is crazy on this. I remember you covered it at length in a previous live. Love those videos. That's right. I covered it with attorney Jess Jonda. Hopefully she can come on with me tomorrow and actually break down what's going on. But let's get back into this article, right? Again, the reason I feel like this is Wendy's people speaking directly is because Kevin tried to do his live. He got shut down. Coincidence. He jumped on another channel. He did the live. Now Wendy's releasing her own live. And now the Sun has this exclusive. The Sun's exclusive dropped within minutes of Wendy's live. That means they knew she was going live. They backed up her story. So when I read this, I see Wendy's people speaking out off the record. Let's continue, right? As the Sun first exclusively revealed, Wendy filed an emergency petition against Wells Fargo to regain access to her frozen bank accounts, allegedly containing tens of millions of dollars. Now get this. Let me back up. Though Wendy distanced herself from Bernie in recent months, a second source claimed that during the Wells Fargo legal case, the bank said Wendy's former manager was someone who was acting in her best interest. Again, who the F is Wells Fargo? But her best interest is the bank's best interest. You see how that works? Other sources close to the ongoing legal drama claim the initial case Wendy bought against Wells Fargo to regain access to her frozen accounts is now being rolled into the main guardianship. So guess what? What does this let us know? Wendy still don't got access to her money. She still doesn't have access to her money. And now they're rolling it on to the same thing, saying we're not going to give you access to your money until a goddamn bank, this is a corporation. Y'all need to grow up if you think these corporate, and listen, this isn't even me being a conspiracy theory person, even though you know I love a good conspiracy. Y'all need to wake up to the way these corporations move and feel. I'm telling you, this isn't even on some conspiracy. Just Google any damn case. They are horrible. A bank came in because she said, I don't want my money here anymore. A bank came in and said, oh, no, baby. No. And worked. Lori and Bernie, it looks like allegedly, contacted a doctor and got medical information. Now, here's the thing. Wendy don't even know if it existed. And my mind, you know, I'm always snooping. Y'all might be like, well, a doctor said, let me tell y'all something. Doctors can be bought, just like bankers can be bought, just like people can be bought. Never, ever, don't believe that. That's how most of the organized crime in America gets away with it, because people are either threatened or bought. You know what? This doctor is now given medical records that Wendy didn't even know existed. Call the doctor in. Let's look at his record. Let's look at what he does. Does he have a history of Bernie? Does he have a history of Bank of America? Everybody get called to the store. We ripping your whole goddamn life apart, because I don't care if y'all were standing behind each other in 7-Eleven talking about the weather. I want to know it. It's time to literally bring in forensic accountants. It's literally time to subpoena phone calls, text messages, emails, everything. It's literally time to put private detectives on people's next of kin. If I was Wendy, I'm like, I'm ripping your whole effing life apart. I'm not playing about this anymore. But you know, one of the reasons why they have her, you know why one of the reasons and why they did the sneak attack? Because in order to do all that stuff and literally wage a legal war, in order to do that, what do you need? You need money. Private investigators are expensive. Subpoenaing records are expensive. Discovery is expensive. All these things, the most you could hope for is a lawyer to work pro bono. Now, thank God, Wendy Williams is a very high profile individual. Maybe there is a high profile lawyer, and I mean not just the one lawyer that Kevin got, because you're going against a mega billion-dollar corporation. I don't think you guys realize how much $1 billion is. If you did, you would be mad about it. They're about to go against a mega billion, multi-billion dollar international multinational company with a lawyer from Florida. No, baby. I don't care how good that lawyer is. No, baby. You need a team. But they neutered her early because Wendy doesn't have the money to assemble a team unless a team of competent lawyers take pity on her. Because the thing is, they could lose the case and literally agree to work for free on contingent that if she wins, in order to gain more profile. The only thing with cases like this is a lot of big law firms do want to stay away from stuff like this, because unless they know that they can 100% win, they stay away from high profile cases like this, because if they lose after that, everybody, I mean, listen, look at the way we're treating Olga and Tasha K. Olga better stick to Tasha K as much as she can, because Olga, if it was me, I would Google. It's somebody like, I got a free lawyer for you. Does her name start with an O and end with an A? No. Listen. Exactly. And Phoenix, you said it. Phoenix Diamond Lifestyle said, let's just be honest. If they'll arrest someone and try to keep them from 1,200, imagine what they would try to do with someone for 40 million and try to keep their funds, the U.S. Bank's crisis bailout. Let me tell y'all something. 100% Phoenix. And let me tell y'all something. For y'all thinking, because you somehow think because something's a corporation, they got some professionalism. They don't. Look what they did to the director of Black Panther, Ryan Coogler. Look what they did to Ryan Coogler. His own money he was trying to withdraw. The police rolled up in there. And get this, the bank telling the manager was Black. That's right. They should both be under, treat them like the Karens they are. They literally rolled up with that man with guns. Just imagine he had been armed, right? Just imagine if he had reacted. They could have killed that man. All because he had his bank card, he had his pen, he had everything ready to go. He just didn't want that money counted out in the thing, right? He didn't want that money counted out in the open. But listen, we'll talk about that later. Go and watch my video about that, because that video didn't get love, but I broke it down and I put the 911 call in, and I put the bank's response, and I even put the videotape of him outside talking to police when the police were like, well, anyway. And the 911 operator was like, are you sure he's trying to rob the bank? He got his bank card, he got his PIN, and he got his state ID, and he did a slip for withdrawal. Are you sure did you verify him? And the girl was like, no, I just didn't want to say it. But you know what? This is the last thing I'll say about that, and then we'll get back to Wendy, right? Go and watch that video. The thing was, and this is how evil people are. They thought that Ryan, because he came in sweats and a hoodie, was just some guy trying to pass a bad check. And you know how evil those bank tellers were? To pass a bad check, you're looking at what, like a year of jail, probably all probation. You ain't nothing going to go happen to you, right? However, by making that call and having the police come out on suspicion of bank robbery, you just ensured that man, if he is literally going to see 12 to 14 years in jail, at least 8 for a bank robbery. Those bees were so evil that they thought, because they're evil. And then you saw when he was being let out, the manager was like, good job, officer. They literally saw a person who was trying to write a bad check. Yes, you're a criminal. But the fact that they tried to lie and escalate it into a bank robbery so that man would be in jail for 18, 14 years, that's how evil people are. And those are the people that work for the bank. You think that evil, and like they're all sunshine and roses at the top and they just happen to hire asshole employees? No, the employees reflect who they are. Y'all, there's 924 people in this chat. Go on and hit that like button. Show your girl some love. Also, I did a breakdown with attorney Jess Jonda for the Wendy Williams court documents. She'll probably join me tomorrow sometime this week. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications, and we'll get attorney Jess Jonda to do a legal breakdown of everything that's happening. Anyway, let's get back to the Wendy's case, all right? Now, get this, right? I already read that. Hold on. Okay. Okay, in fact. As the Sun first exclusively revealed, Wendy filed an emergency petition against Wells Fargo to regain access to her frozen bank accounts, allegedly containing millions of dollars. Wells Fargo then asked the judge to hold a guardianship hearing. Again, who the F is this bank? A guardianship hearing for Wendy as they called her an incapacitated person who is the possible victim of financial exploitation. Why? Because her young Black college student son has power of attorney. I bet you if she had walked in with somebody like with Olga or Slars, it wouldn't have been the case. The case was eventually sealed. Now get this. As the Sun reported, Kevin currently holds power of attorney over his famous mother. A source close to Wendy Williams claims that Kevin has not filed for guardianship over his mother because neither he nor Wendy believe she is in need of a guardianship. Sources close to Wendy have insisted that the host's health has been improving since she first moved to Florida to be with family while she recovers from a myriad of medical crisis. You guys, again, I can't stress enough how weird this is, how illegal it is, how messed up it is. And I can't stress enough that if enough of us do not literally take to the heavens banging drums, they're going to get away with this. They will get away with this. Thank you so much, Rum, for the super chat. Listen, here we go. Let me place it. Y'all doing the same thing you did to Britney, jumping to the first male family member like he's a knight in shining armor. Trust the bank a lot. What? Let me play with it, bro. Let me tell y'all something. Is this a troll? Are you daft? Are you dense? Have you not been paying attention to this live? All of you are by me. I would literally just mug you in the face. Are you stupid? Her son is the power of attorney. Her son, the person she loves. Her son is the power of attorney. The fact that he happens to be a male, leave all this hate you have toward it be. It's not her husband. It's her son that they're screwing over. Her husband has stepped out of it. Her husband has nothing to do with this. He said it on the live. He's not involved in a lawsuit. It's Wendy and her son against the world. Will you focus or get the F out the chat? God, this is serious stuff. Stop derailing the chat. Let me get this off. Listen. This is a crying shame. I want to start a channel just to make sure more people hear about this and other maneuvers they pull on us. Exactly, Bambi. And you should. And you should. Listen, let me play with it maybe once attention, but this is what I mean. Y'all, let's stay focused. And by y'all, I mean me, because I'm the only one that got off talking it. I know y'all like, girl, you the one talking about, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Are you daft? Listen, again, it's Wendy's son, and it makes me so mad that for whatever reason, her son is not authoritative enough. How does somebody's only heir, college age, son come in and say, my mom gave me power of attorney? And the bank looks at them, and Lori Schurler literally gets the manager on the phone and was like, so do you have a doctor's number? Do you have a doctor's note? And you literally in secret try to get her business manager. And you know why else? She fired that business manager. That means that business manager was getting 20% of all Wendy's earnings. Now, Wendy, right, is at 20% of all her earnings. Wendy has a multi-tens of $million asset. How much do you think that man lost? 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5? You think he lost his inheritance for his grandkids? That's how much money I've seen people screw people over for $20,000. What do you think somebody's doing when there's 2, 3, 4, 5 million? And get this, it's off a cash cow. Because if they can't put Wendy in a conservative, you just saw my mind thing go, Wendy. Yep, sounds right? If they can put her in a conservatorship, right? If they can put her in a conservatorship, you know that they can force her to work just like Britney, right? You know they can force her to work. Say it's good for her mental health. Force her to do a podcast. And if she don't do it, they'll do her just like Britney and literally drug her up and get a psychiatrist that gaslights her and tape her and deny her access to her son and put her in a cocoon. You really think that people are not low down enough to literally feed off somebody like parasites until she flies away? And I bet you anything that guy has an insurance policy on Wendy. Why? Because you guys might not have known it. Walmart actually got sued for this. Anyone that has a financial stake in you can get an insurance policy on you. Walmart actually got sued and they had to stop doing it. That whenever you started working for Walmart, they would get an insurance policy on you. So if you died while you were working on the job, the insurance company would pay out Walmart as the benefactor because they're the one that got the insurance policy on you. Oh, you didn't know that? That's how low down. And they didn't give a penny to the family. That's how low down these, and they were doing it for like a decade before the Supreme Court said, no, that's illegal. You can't do that. So now they can't do it. That manager can get an insurance policy up to, I think, 5 years of what he would have made as Wendy's manager, just in case she passes away. He now has insurance, the same way a wife can get insurance on the husband. Exactly. Mia, thank you so much. You said Wells Fargo just got exposed for not lending to blacks. Take your money out of Wells Fargo. Y'all, take your money out of Wells Fargo. I'm of the mind we need to get back to community banks, but let me not get on my Save the Nation stuff, because y'all know if you watch my channel, I have definite beliefs of what's going on and high. And again, the only thing that really annoys me about the situation is now that I literally talk trash for a living, I always saw it, but now that I talk trash and I read comments and I see what's going on, it just shocks me how people don't even realize they're being spoon-fed narratives, and they spoon-fed. Yeah. It shocks me how much people don't even know that they're repeating lies. They're repeating, like, literally on some, who said that? Where did that come from? It shocks me the way that people have been trained to look at each person individually, even though we're not treated as individual. We're judged by a group. Anyway, let me just go. Listen, Wells Fargo has been doing illegal activity towards blacks for decades. And again, we got to ask ourselves, why? Why were they cool with Wendy in and out of rehab, passing out on stage, like literally, I don't even want to make fun of it, but y'all know I make fun of everything. Literally, like doing the percolator on the floor, right? Waiting for paramedics to come in. I know, Lord, forgive me. Waiting for paramedics, right, to come in and save this woman, and a damn person have a problem with any of it. They probably had the local dope dealer on the show at the set, making her be like, you know, holding like a little bag of like whatever, being like, no, who wants the 8-ball? Who wants the opioid? You're going to have to be a good Wendy and do the, if you want it, you better be a good Wendy. I'm being serious. And everybody that was supposed to be protecting Wendy, including Kevin, right? Literally threw that woman to the dogs. I know Kevin did his live. I know I now see him as a person, but Kevin, you got some atoning to do too, because you did Wendy dirty. You did Wendy dirty, and you were the reason foremost. I understand you wanted a family, you wanted this, you wanted that. Then baby, why didn't you actually act like a man? And when you first met Sharina, tell Wendy it wasn't working out, ended things with her, divorced her, and then started seeing your vegan queen. That's right, because you wanted Wendy working like a dog, being preyed on by these people while you were busy laying up in Sharina's bed, smacking her butt, asking for some more vegan macaroni and cheese. I see you for your works. You're not as bad as the networks, but I see you for the works. Everybody in this situation was eating off Wendy, except her son. Everybody in this situation was eating off of Wendy, except for her son. Kevin, Wells Fargo, the bank, the ex-manager, everybody. And the funny thing is, when you listen to Kevin's live, it sounded like Kevin was cool with throwing Wendy. Now, listen, Wendy did get Kevin fired. I understand that. But Kevin, you was being paid alimony. So like, what it do? You still ain't married your side piece yet, because you don't want to give up that alimony. So what's really good? Really, Kevin? Again, it humanized you. I realize the story is a lot more complicated, but Kevin, you was painting a halo over your head. That fact was not missed with me. And it seems like once Kevin got fired, Kevin knew the wolves around Wendy. And I believe he wanted the wolves to eat her alive, because Wendy took away what he cared about, which was the career. And Kevin's still mad about that. And he wanted those wolves to eat Wendy alive. The only thing is, you didn't expect for for you to catch a stray. Kevin didn't expect. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch the live. He did a long Insta live. I put it on my channel. I chopped it down to the most important bits. It's a really good thing. And it lets you know, once you listen to like what Wendy just said, it's earlier in the video. I put the video in this video. And then you go and listen to Kevin's live. It makes so much sense. And then I did some lives with an attorney about what's going on with the case. So if you want a comprehensive view of just how evil this gets and how it's time to ring the alarm, please go check out my old videos. Also subscribe. Y'all know, listen, the government should have never bailed Wells Fargo out. Ever, ever, ever. Wells Fargo is shameless. They're always being sued for one reason or another. You said after launching the latest video, Wendy, Wells Fargo needs to keep doing what they're doing. Loanies. Didn't I tell y'all to stop coming in this chat saying dumb shit? Loanies. Listen, let me get this off the screen. Didn't I tell y'all to stop coming in the chat saying dumb shit? Do you understand what being incapacitated means? It means you sitting there like this. Why there's a marching band banging in your head. It means if I ask you 18 different ways, here's $1 million. What day is it? I'm just looking at you like, I like YouTube. Do you know what incapacitated means? Do you know how low that bar has to set before you sit there and talk about Wendy look like she's tweaking? Wendy like, yes, I get that. But tweaking, let me tell you something. If tweaking was enough to get your fortune pulled, half the people in the music industry and 80% of people in Hollywood would be under conservatorship right now. Tweaking, having addiction, getting old, that is not reason to stop giving somebody access to money that they earned when their son is offering to step up to be power of attorney. And you got some stranger that she fired months ago talking about, I'll take over. You're not even family. I don't even know you. The only relationship we have is that we work together. That's the only relationship we have used to work together. Do you know what somebody has to be incapacitated? You sound stupid. And again, I apologize for going in on you, but you deserve it. You sound stupid. You sound dumb. Educate yourself. Wendy is not incapacitated. She does not reach the level to be incapacitated. That's why Bernie, Lori, and whoever this phantom doctor is did the sneak attack. Do you understand the fact that Wendy looks like she's tweaking? The fact that Wendy looks like she might have been losing it. To be incapacitated, they ask you, tell me a story. Do you know how to get to the thing? Why don't you cook something for me? What day of the week is? What is your name? What's your best friend? It's certain things, right? It's certain things that you have to answer and do to actually pass the capacity test. Wendy, just by that video, I already know for a fact. Don't ask me how I know. She already passes it 100%. Literally, yo, this is what I mean. There's somebody's life about to be ripped apart, and y'all playing with it, doing the same thing where you're speaking on shit that you're not even bothering to research. And maybe I am taking this too seriously, but it's scary what's happening to Wendy Williams. Well, this could be your mom, your dad, your uncle, whoever. Do you all understand? This could be your aunt. This could be your grandma. Do you understand that? Do you understand what's going on? It's sick. And we're already talking about a bank that has clearly shown racist policies. If you think that all that racism went away after they said, I saw we and gave like a few loans out, please. Anyway, please. Hey, Blue Jasmine, thank you so much for becoming. Hey, Debbie, thank you so much for the super sticker, Miss Lowe. I appreciate you. Claudia Furley, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Also, I want to welcome the newest member of the Tattle Tells. Where are you at? We got Blue Jasmine 1. Where are you, Mama? I'm trying to find your little Tattle Tells thing. Anyway, Blue Jasmine 1, thank you so much for joining the Tattle Tells. You guys, I do have a membership. I know I'm deep in my social justice bag right now, but every other Friday I do a live where we drag, we roast, and I bring up all the celebrity gossip that's just dirty and messy and really, really funny. And we hash it up and talk. You can call in. It's a good time. Y'all, you need to, come on. Yes. Thank you, Babs. You appreciate my passion, or as my mommy likes to call it, my loud mouth. You know, who's laughing now? Third grade teacher. Anyway, listen. Oh, thank you, Rim. Rim said this is the best community for tea in the whole internet. Yes, we love everybody. And join the Tattle Tells family. It's only $4.99. And y'all, Tattle Tells, let them know when I say I be bringing tea and gossip, I've been bringing Tia gossip, the inside stuff, months before anybody knows it. I know everybody be trying to sleep and act like they don't see me bringing exclusive, breaking news, getting inside. I know. But guess what? It's cool. We all know. Listen, we know. We growing. It's going to be good. Let me just put this up on the screen. Oh, here we go. Blue Jasmine 1. Oh, I love your Abby. You got a beautiful smile. Blue Jasmine 1, thank you so much for joining the membership. I appreciate y'all. And Tony, thank you so much for the super sticker, mama. I really appreciate this. Of course, Claudia Fleury, I already said thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, let me just, this is like, let's see, let me drop the call in really quick. For like 15 minutes. Let me hear what y'all got to say really quick, what y'all think, what y'all heard, and honestly, how you feel. I'm just telling y'all one thing. If you come on here with some dumb mess, talking about a racist bank that has been proven in the United States Supreme Court to be racist, it's doing the right thing, I'm blocking y'all. All right? That's my only thing. Don't come. Listen, I welcome everybody's opinion. My Tattle Tells know I love to debate and discuss. Just be respectful. But if you are trying to say that somebody has the right to be oppressed and treated badly, do your research and make sure you know who and what you are talking about. All right. Dynasty Doll, thank you, mama, so much for joining the Tattle Tell family. Thank you so much, Dynasty Doll. I appreciate you. Okay. You know what? Listen, we have Buzzworthy TV, also a great YouTube channel that's about to come in. I believe they have inside info on Wendy, but you guys also, members only live. They come on every other Friday. You can listen. Listen, if you like listen to YouTube while you're cleaning, getting your hair done, cleaning your house, my members only live are so funny. This passion actually turns to a witty sense of humor, right? If you love humor, if you love people going in on people, if you love dragging and roasting, my members only live is where it's at. We have like so many archives you can get into of current stuff that will have you roll, and I guarantee you're going to find out stuff you did not know, but it's in a funny live way. So anyway, make sure y'all sign up for the members only live. So Kara Jordan says, regardless of what people think, Kelvin would have never let this happen to her. She needs Kris Jenner or some shark on her side that's going to protect her and her assets. That's her money. Now listen, Kara, I agree with you to a point. And I said this in the video. You guys have not seen what Kevin had to say about this. It's an 18-minute video. Go watch it after this live. Don't leave the live, right? Watch this first. She does need a Kris Jenner. She does need shark. But I do know from a lot of my friends, and I know a lot of people actually in the entertainment industry, you'd be surprised. I know a lot of big people in the entertainment industry. And I'll just say it. People that do not fit a certain aesthetic are not respected. They're not. It's like that old joke, like you need a certain, like people, and I'll just say it, right? In the entertainment industry, Black managers, Black producers, Black lawyers, Black, and again, I'm only speaking because I'm Black, maybe Latinos, maybe Indians often find the same thing. But I know for a fact they are not respected as equal. They're just not. And one of the ways people really make a come up when they are hot is they fire their team that they've known and they hire a team that fits aesthetically what's accepted in Hollywood. And that's how they rise. And if you look at the guy that starred in Daniel, whatever, starting in Black Panther and all this other stuff, when they get sick of their team because they feel like their team don't get them or understand them and they fire their team, then they paint them as crazy. Then they paint them as like, oh my God, so strange what's going on. All because you say, I want people that look what they did to LeBron James. Look what they did to LeBron James when LeBron James literally said, I don't want any of these businessmen. I want everybody, the people I know and trust. They're smart. I'll train them. LeBron James, they literally tried to do everything they could to destroy him because he wasn't going with the status quo people. Even the way they tried. And then LeBron said, listen, I'm sick of y'all exploiting like these college athletes. I'm sick of this and that. I'm starting my own sports agency where people are going to be paid what they should be paid. And the athletes are going to have $1 million better deals, right? They literally try to change the rules and say, oh, well, if you're going to have a sports agency, you need a college education. Now, that rule didn't go through, but why were they even thinking about changing it? Because LeBron, they never go to college. They were trying to fight. You need to realize that these systems that work with entertainers that are largely Black, right? Singers, musicians that are largely Black. There's a reason why when you go into those offices, you maybe only see one person that looks like you. That doesn't happen by accident. It's not that they're better, it's the fact that they exclude everything else. So she needs a Kris Jenner on her side. Now let's talk about Kelvin, right? Kelvin would have never let this happen to her. But again, to me, Kelvin is the ultimate thing of that which nourishes you shall destroy you, right? Because though Kelvin was an attack dog for everybody around Wendy, he also was an attack dog to Wendy. And he was, even though he nourished her in a certain way, he also destroyed her because he was the number one thing fueling her relapses, her heartache, the way she tried to numb the pain, the way every time she got up to go to work to secure a legacy, not just for herself, like he was like, oh, it's very admirable what she did. She made a legacy. Nah, ninja. She made a legacy for your goddamn child. She secured a legacy for your son, your offspring, the one that you said you care about so much, the one that you love more than anything. She literally set up a legacy for your seed, your bloodline. So show her the respect that's due. While she was getting up and going and sitting in that chair because she was the only one that could do it. And let me tell you something, if Kevin would have did it, he would have pushed her out the side and he would have did it. He would have did it, but he couldn't. Wendy was busy securing the seat, securing a legacy for his bloodline that he cares to get, and even securing the bag for your outside baby. Anyway, again, Kevin literally nourished her but destroyed her. Let's bring a few people up here. We got Buzzworthy TV. Buzzworthy, what is going on? What is your take on this? Also, really quick, we got 1,065 people in this live chat. Y'all, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys do not know what videos I'm referring to, rewind the live. I believe the first minute I show Wendy's own thing where she talks about it. It's lit, and then we get into it. So if you want to take a break, rewind, go back to the first minute. It's a 3-minute video. Wendy outlines this all, but then I add in all the outside information that I've been gathering and put it in one place for you guys to wrap it up. All right. So even if you don't want to do it now, make sure you do it before you leave so you can actually hear Wendy speak in his own words. But I agree with you. Kevin was super loyal, not loyal. He was super useful, but he was also what was destroying her and sucking the life out. So I have a complicated opinion about Kevin. I know nobody is a monster. Kevin does not believe he was a monster, but I wouldn't be wishing anybody wishing him anything good if Wendy was my mom, my sister, anything. Anyway, Buzzworthy, what's up? Tell us something good.
What's up? First of all, I'm so glad you went live. Second of all, I just agree with what you said. Everybody hit the like button before I even go. Hit the like button for my girl. Okay. So anyway, I agree because even in his video, he built her up and then he tore her down. I think that was the toxicity of their relationship. Like he said, oh, she's a queen. She did this, she did that. But then, oh, I want to have a baby, but she was too involved in her career. Like, how do you do that knowing how she felt about having all those miscarriages, trying to give you more kids? And then when she finally was able to have a kid, you cheated on her. This goes way beyond Sharina. When she finally could have a baby, you cheat on her in the most vulnerable state and not thinking that it's not going to traumatize her. On top of that, she's grown up with a lot of childhood trauma with being picked on as a kid, but not even from outside people, but even in the home she was picked on. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So I do agree with they're saying like, oh, he seems, and I'm not gonna lie, some of that stuff I understood. But it's like, bro, you brought a lot of this on yourself. You're saying, oh, I want to find my happiness. It was a lot. Well, you put her in this position. I'm not blaming all on him, but because she already had drug issues. She already had issues. But I feel as though she was getting better. And then, just things that he would do to her would make her spiral all over again. She loved him so much, she was going to clean up her whole act. But again, he started doing other things, and she, like you said, she had to numb the pain. Now, in regards to Bernie, I wanted to cry. I feel so bad because she trusted him. She used to call him her uncle, and it's just so much. I don't know. I don't trust anybody. I just hope that she continues to get better. She sounds like she's making her way back because at first we could barely get a picture of her, and if we did, she was in a wheelchair and all this stuff. So she's coming, slowly but surely. So I think that's a sign that she's coming back, and I hope so because I don't trust none of them. I don't even trust Kevin. I don't trust I don't trust Barney. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust the show.
Mm-mm.
I just need her to get herself together so she can take control of her own money. Because as of right now, I don't trust nobody. I don't.
I com- I completely agree with you. Also, you guys, make sure you guys follow Buzzworthy TV on YouTube. She got you guys. Adams is saying, "I love her voice." Everybody do. Make sure you follow her on YouTube. Also, Tracy Trace, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member, Mama. This member's only live. Listen to the other ones, but I'm telling you, all my members only. Let them know on the thing how lit they be and how funny they are. It is a great thing, right? Now, listen, I agree with you, right? We shouldn't trust Kevin at all. Again, he's telling a story from his point of view. And I realized something of human nature. Nobody likes to sit there and say, I was a monster. I caused it. I'm a horrible person. Of course, he's going to tell things from his side of the story. He did not behave honorably. And I want to say this, and this is just my opinion. I don't know if this is to be true, but I'm getting the vibes that, a lot of times when they tell you to date your equal or somebody like more than you,
Mhm.
men like to be like, oh, you a gold digger, you this, you that. Oftentimes when a man has ambition, there's something in his bank account to show for it. Sometimes you get the man early and he has ambition, but his bank account's not there yet. That's fine. You're grown with some, but you see it. Like, we're going to be okay. The problem with marrying a man where, and I'm not saying this is all the time, but the problem with marrying a man that is bigger than you, I'm sorry, marrying a man that does not have what you have. You're the shining star. You're the talent. You're this. And yeah, Kevin's smart. He's capable. He did a lot. But Wendy Williams, right? Kevin has a big ego. I honestly feel because of Kevin's ego, a lot of times men that don't feel like they measure up to the woman they're with and that they have a big ego, the number one thing they do to knock them down and control them is to cheat on them and cheat on them rampantly. Look at Holly Berry with Eric Benet. Look at anyone, even your rich auntie, and how she be having man problems. They literally always try to, when they're insecure. A secure man is just like, oh, good. A secure man that doesn't have a big ego is like, I'll play Mr. Mom. I'll do this. Like, we can build together. They realize they're on a team and they play their position. Kevin has a big ego. I think that when they were younger, Wendy catered to that ego. But as Wendy grew, and she was like, this is my legacy, I think he got really, really resentful for it. And I think that when she finally divorced him, I think Kevin thought that it was sweet that he could come in there, cheat on her, do whatever. Now, it was illegal to fire him. I'm not saying that that was right. But I'm saying is I think it was such a humiliating blow to his ego that you literally lived and died by Wendy. And I'm sure every time he has to take that alimony check, it sickens him. It sickens him. And I'm sure Wendy told him verbatim, you ain't ish and you ain't never going to be ish. She probably was literally reenacting scenes from what is it, from the Temptations? Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis, and I refuse to let you go.
You can tell from documentary, she kind of alluded to it that sometimes, especially towards the end, after she kind of knew, that Sharina was pregnant and she confronted him on it, she even alluded to that she would get drunk and cuss him out. So yeah, I believe it.
Exactly. Literally, Wendy looked at him and was like, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Literally, and Kevin was just sitting there mad, because that's what it was. Listen, I am literally, listen, let's add, oh, look, we have a special guest. What's up, Mel, NYC Reviews? How you doing? Join the chat. What's your takeaway from all this?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Hey, Mel.
Hi, how you doing? How you doing? I saw you live, and I had to just come in because I feel like everybody and their mom is right now on YouTube talking about Wendy. Everybody was doing a live, and I was happy that I caught you just now because I just think that I was just saying in the chat, I need to rewatch the Wendy Williams movie and documentary again just to fill in more blanks for myself because I just think that Wendy needs prayer at this point. I just think she needs some good energy sent in her way. She seemed to be like a lot overwhelmed with a lot of these issues. I didn't think it was, I don't know, I guess I wasn't following the story that much to think that it was that desperate. But I guess now I don't know. I just feel like she needs help. She needs she needs intervention from other people to come in to really help her. It almost reminds me, not of the drugs level, but it reminds me of Whitney Houston. It reminds me of, just the people who have a lot of people around them who just take advantage. And then next thing you know, they end up, perishing. So I just
Yeah.
hope that we can, she can learn from those people and really try to do a radical shakeup, where she can get somebody to come in and intervene and help her.
Now
Exactly.
I
Really quick, you
agree.
guys, hold on really quick, BuzzFeed. Let me just interject. Listen, there's a lot of new people in here. You guys hit the like button. And if you've been following me for a while, but you don't want to commit, what are you waiting for? Stop Kevin Huntering me and hit that like button and hit subscribe and notifications, because I am going to break it down. I'm getting information at lightning speed. Just make sure if you care anything about the story, because you'll know if you're new to my channel, I will follow a story to the pits of hell, right? To the point you'll be like, let it go. And I'll be like, no, I'm outside their house. They've just arrived. Hold on, little Tattle Tells. They've arrived 5 minutes ago. They seem to have stopped at Church's Chicken with Taco Bell. More on that later. I will literally follow a story to the pits of hell. Now, Adam said, yep, notice how broke, unaccomplished guys are now saying that you're still worthless despite your 6 figures and multiple degrees and you'll die alone. They love to kick you when you're down a notch. Yes, definitely broke, but I also think that Kevin, nobody wants to talk about this, but I talk about this in the video. Wendy and Kevin, Wendy, of course, but Kevin, they were pioneers. They busted down glass ceilings in a corporate environment that nobody wanted them there, thought they would be there, and was trying to get them out every time they could. Wendy and Kevin literally, and Wendy, I'll just say Wendy, put herself as the map and made herself the queen of all media. Now, a lot of dumb people don't know history, so they just think Wendy was always TV Wendy. No, Wendy's been chased out of parties, beat up, threatened. I think she's even being shot at. Wendy used to be like
That's
grimy,
right.
grimy in the gutter
right.
gossip. But she evolved, and now she's like the Wendy that we know. She became the queen of all media, right?
Yeah.
I think a conversation we need to have as a community that nobody really talks about, because it's not that many times that the glass ceiling gets burst. But when you bust through that glass ceiling, it's not without a heavy cost. Though that ceiling, that shattered ceiling, becomes shards of glass that literally impale you in your body. Look what happened in the 1960s and 70s with the freedom fighters and civil rights. Our families were broken and are still trying to recover from that poison. We put our children out there as not even pawns, as tools to get the world to pay attention. Sprayed with hoses, bombed in churches, bombed in schools. We endured so much, but that legacy, you look at every big civil rights family, look at how shattered it is. Look at how hurt it is. Look at the poison that runs through, because they shattered the ceiling, which is great for everybody else, but those shards go into your soul. I really do believe that Wendy and Kevin did something, and anybody that's ever experienced corporate racism, corporate racism is like, it's a mind, it messes with your mind. That poison, I think, went in, and Kevin's ego as a man, already not being the star of the show with Wendy, and not being respected. I'm not making excuses for him, but I can see not being respected by executives, being looked at as a joke, having to prove yourself. You're a black man in the 2000s, coming in a network, they're automatically being like, man, get out of here. I think and Kevin has his own issues. I think he took all his anger and aggression and out on Wendy. And instead of becoming an unstoppable team, he literally turned into the one person, and he focused all that anger and aggression on him. And this isn't taking away his accountability. Just like Wendy started hurting herself, abusing drugs, doing this, doing that, and became codependent on Kevin and that relationship. We need to start talking about the price of success to minorities that have to breastfeed, because it's a heavy price. It's a heavy price.
Tisa, you hit a lot of buttons there. I just want to rewind a little bit. So for me, Wendy she should get so many flowers, because the thing that we call urban commentary, having an urban perspective, what we all do, what we all like to watch, whether it be Miss Tisa, the diva Miss Tisa, or whoever else, 2022, back in 1990 or whatever it was, the beginning of that, whether you was man, woman, or trans, whatever you are, it was Wendy first. So, because she gave value to the urban dialogue, basically. So they just say, okay, that's the music, that's just going on. But she went out there and did what the Howard Sterns and them did. So now we have the Jason Lees, we have so many other people, but she was the first one to do it as a woman who said, okay, here, brother, here, sister, you now are urban. And then I'm gonna go a little tangent. There was this show I used to love called Married to Medicine. And I remember they had a conversation about this one there, because so basically Mariah was my queen. I love Mariah Huck on there. But She was a very educated woman, but she talked that talk. She knew that stuff. She knew how to do it. But the girls who went to college said, no, you don't have value as a Black woman because you talk very slick. And I knew because my sisters and my cousins, they got A's in school. They did talk slick, but they still had value because they had urban edge to them. So I think that with Wendy, she shows that you can have urban edge and still be taken seriously as a businesswoman. I always got frustrated if you came from Brooklyn or you came from Harlem and you had to have that urban edge, but you had straight A's at college because you had the edge like Mary J. Blige, whatever. Oh no, we can't take you seriously. Well, Wendy showed you can have an urban edge and be taken seriously, and then other people can't. Other people came behind that. So I think that for me, that's what the bigger conversation for me is that you can have urban. You can come from urban markets and be taken very seriously, or have your opinions have validity to it. You don't got to be going the Oprah route or the Tamara Hall route or be a journalist of 8 years or whatever. You can be an urban blogger and be very, to the point.
This is very much true. Maxine Wells said Kelvin had a nerve to still mention Sharina in his live, just another slap in the face to Wendy, then talking about her drinking in Shores now. Yeah, I caught that shade too. Like, shut up and go drink. Like, you drinking fucking kelp sea moss smoothies and you still look like Bubblegum Man. Shut up, Kelvin. Looking like the guy from Airheads with a hat with his cap flipped to the back. Said, what the F did he expect? Wendy had a nervous breakdown. Exactly. Calvin, again, and just goes to your point, Mel, and definitely to your point, Buzzworthy TV, Wendy is alone except for her son. And they decided literally to do what they could because he's a young kid. He didn't know what's going on. And I do believe that Kevin, and who had said it before, that they probably literally, the manager probably felt so happy when Kevin finally got out there because they had Wendy and her addictions all to themselves. Now, Madeline says, Wendy sold us a public bill of goods reality, a weak, pitiful, low self-esteem, two-faced pony, lonely, confused victim who's her own worst enemy. Really sad to go out that way. Not, oh, Madeline, she's not like, this is not her obituary. She is not out there. She just needs to find the right team to really protect her. ALS said we need to make noise. That's how Britney and Amanda Bynes were free. Big corporations are scared of noise. That is so true, ALS. That is so true. Listen, Tapa said, why can't y'all hit the like button? It's ridiculous not to support a person's channel for free. Y'all, some evil in this world. Anyway, listen. Okay, let's get into Yvette. Yvette said, where are you, Yvette? Yvette, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Yvette. How are you doing, Mama?
Hi. You actually put my face on. Let me comb my hair.
Oh, that's okay. What are you thinking about this, Yvette?
Okay, my name is Yvette Cade, and my ex-husband set me on fire at work in 2005.
Oh my gosh.
I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Nancy Grace. I was a CNN expert witness, and all other kinds of things. So, trying to turn my light on so you can see who I am. I have a show coming out. It's called Lies and Crimes for HLN.
Okay.
And pretty much, I've been speaking to my attorneys because I feel like I'm being Britney Spears and Wendy Williams. Sorry, this is who I am.
Hold on. Thank you so much. That rap is laying. Okay, girl.
Okay.
That Scarface slip once tonight. That rap is laying. Okay, so.
Well, I'm retired on disability. So I'm in a position where my daughter is my caregiver. And T-Mobile is fighting me at this point with my attorneys. They don't want her to be my caregiver. So they keep on trying to send people in, occupational therapists to come evaluate my home. They've already done that. What they're trying to do is undermine me. My daughter was 11 years old when I got set on fire. Now she's, she just had a birthday, 29 years old.
Oh.
And so, yes, thank you. So pretty much, I just want to live a normal life. My daughter has twin boys. They live with me. everything is functional, and I've been stonewalled, blackballed by government officials. Like, I don't want to say his name, but I just tell my story to save lives, because I speak internationally and nationally against domestic violence. If you look, I have shows on like Lifetime Network, Discovery Investigation, Who the Bleep Did I Marry, The Will to Live, and a lot of shows. So I've been on all different. I may be jumping everywhere. It's frustrating.
No, please. I was actually reading a comment, but no, please. I'm here with you. Please continue your story. Thank you for sharing it with us.
So it's frustrating. It's a trigger for me to hear that Wendy Williams, you know, who is Wells Fargo not to get this woman her money, you know? And why is it a problem if her son, and she trusts him, is her caregiver?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what happened to me is I was incapacitated. I got set on fire October 10th. And now that I'm able to look at my paperwork on October 19th, my sister came on my deathbed and had me sign a power of attorney paper. I had a tube in my mouth. I was wrapped mummified. My leg was broke, or my pretty much my leg was in a cast from my foot all the way over my kneecap. And she didn't take my daughter in. She gave my daughter to somebody in the family that she didn't know, but my sister was over my finances. My sister was about lights, cameras, and action, and my mother was at my bedside. When the news came on, my mother would turn the TV, and if she wasn't there, then the nurses and whatnot would say that I wasn't allowed to watch the TV. Now that I'm out the hospital, see, my sister say, don't pay your house off, you're gonna die, and you have insurance to pay it off. So everybody thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
I have burns pretty much all over my body. 65% was burned, but they took the skin grafts from my legs and put it on my upper body, my chest, my back, my arms, everywhere, my whole face, you could see. So it's crazy how the people around Wendy Williams move instead of protecting her and thanking God that she was a vessel for them to get money and take care of their entire family, that they treating her this way. That's what's happened to me. They want to shut me up. My sister called my psychiatrist. She told my psychiatrist that I was off my rocker and whatnot. But
Wow.
he
I
go
have a
ahead.
question. Sorry to interrupt you. How long did it take you to get from under your sister's control? How easy? So if we're talking about Wendy is worth 40 million, but she doesn't have access to any of her funds. So if they are able to set up guardianship or whatnot, how hard do you think it'll be for her to fight and actually get her rights back?
Talking to my psychiatrist told me to talk to my civil suit attorney. So when I went to my civil suit attorney, by the way, I sued my ex-husband for 40 million I'll never see. So he spoke to my family. I'm looking through my paperwork and I see what went on. So he spoke to my family, but I had to go to my civil suit attorney and have him drop a piece of paper that said, I revoked power of attorney from my sister. So I did that. I got set on fire October 10th, 2005. Yeah. So August of 2006, I signed a piece of paper and I had that. But But my sister, she's telling people that pretty much she's maneuvering, saying that she's still pretty much my power of attorney. She's still acting on my behalf. And so she's been working with government officials, and I have a lot of power. I
Yeah.
endorse people to get in Congress and things like that. But I really didn't know, because my sister has my website, the YvetteKFund.org. And
Yeah.
so she wouldn't give it back to me. She said that it was worth too much money and I don't know what I'm doing. So she has the Yvette K Fund is hers, the sole owner, with my name on it, collecting funds, trust donations for me. I won't say how much is in my bank account at Chase Bank. And I go to Chase Bank with my daughter and my twin grandsons. And because she's a trustee, I give them my ID and I can't go in there and get my own money.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you know, I was
And
gonna say, I was going to say, you know, Mr. Yvette, I think that I can see why the Wendy Williams story is connecting with you so much, because it's saying to me, and what I was going to say too, is that it feels like no matter if you are $40 million or you're just a citizen with, you know, if you have some kind of medical issues or, you know, anything going on, your family comes in, they can really complicate your life, is what I'm hearing from you. Your life got complicated from your family. Wendy Williams' life is getting very complicated from her family. And I think that what I'm also learning too is that, you know, it doesn't. It almost doesn't matter if you have a show yourself that in this country, as we see with Britney Spears and other people, and even a private citizen like Mr. Yvette right here, you know, you can
I'm
definitely
pretty sure I'm worth millions. I know that I'm worth millions.
right.
I just looked into my account and my surgeries are dang near $3 million. I'm worth millions. But
Wow.
And you
I'm
still,
not getting my money.
and you haven't been able,
So
and it's amazing. This has been going on since 2005, 2006. And again, a lot of parallels. Thank you for pointing it out, Mel. A lot of parallels to Wendy Williams in the way that you are still, even though you even revoke power of attorney is personal. One gives it to another. Guardianship is when the courts give somebody power of attorney. So if it is this hard to disentangle someone that you gave permission to, and now you're taking back, imagine if somebody is your guardian, where the
but
court is saying no. Yeah.
how could she even do that when I was on my deathbed and I was already incapacitated and I have a daughter? See, my daughter was 11 years old at the time, and my mother stood by and allowed it happen. My mother and my aunt does taxes. She is a notary of republic. My mother signed for allowing my sister to do this as a witness with my cousin. So they're telling people that I'm crazy. Does it look like I'm having issues? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's so, you know, and again, not to expand this into a larger conversation, but you know,
No, go ahead.
There is an issue that a lot of people in America do not know, that people with any type of mental disabilities are treated horribly by the court. However, once you get that mental disability for whatever tag on you, you in the eyes, and this goes down to jurors. Okay, so if anybody knows Judge Wendell Holmes, he literally is the grandfather of law in America. Most of the modern jurisprudence we have is because of Judge Wendell Holmes and his rulings. He was always seen as fair, funny, kind. His court rulings read like fiction. They're just so good. However, even him, as fair as he was, when it came down to disability rights, he looked at anyone that was even slightly classified as feeble as a cancerous society, and the only thing they could do was be used as something to siphon off. How does it work in 2022? The way of thinking has not changed. It is scary. First of all, it's scary that if you have mental disability, somebody can come and take everything you have, right? It's even scarier that if you are of sound mind, but you can find a way in the courts to classify yourself as not of sound mind, you are now thrown in that to disposable batch where you can just be fed off of from parasites. The same thing they did with Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, but as we see with Wendy Williams, and also as we see with
Chloe,
Yvette.
Hello, hi,
Yeah,
Chloe. How are you? Can you hear me?
Hold on.
Hello.
But also with Yvette, right? thank you for sharing your story, that even regular people, whether I bet you had $50 in your account, 50,000 or 50 million, the fact that you do no longer have control, all because somebody got your signature on a piece of paper in a moment of weakness. And from that, the courts do not like protecting anyone that has any and even a hint of disability. It is a form of discrimination. When you combine that to the paternalistic nature that Americans' court systems typically have toward minorities, and the way that they feel typically overall that minorities do not know how to balance stuff, their families are to be a little bit less trusted.
Yes.
It all makes for a perfect storm that you do not, at best, you don't have any rights. At worst, you are disposable, and people can just eat off of you like parasites. So,
Right.
yes,
They're,
that's right.
I feel like they're Kanye West in me. I feel for Kanye West because just because he was labeled as bipolar, he was, I get, his mouth in an accident, regardless. And he's an intelligent being, and and people are jumping on him. I feel some type of way because he's a human being. And the way, I'm getting off subject, but the way D.L. Hughley and Steve Harvey are handling it, if D.L. Hughley could get Kanye's number after he sent those people to his house, he should have said no comment and called and been of service to him instead of just putting him on blast. I really don't like that. I like Kanye, but I wish I could talk to him, because when you have money, people will use and abuse you, and they don't care. He needs unconditional love right now. It's so much that's going through my mind. I appreciate you, Tisha.
I appreciate you. Listen, if you could do me a favor, I'm Tattle Tells on Instagram Live. I took your name down. I'll look for you on Instagram and try to friend you. Maybe we can have you come on to share your story and actually really help a lot of people, because I'm even looking at the chat. Your story is resonating with so many people.
I got so scared.
Yeah.
I got so scared because I've had stalkers. I've been gang stalked. I've had identity theft. And my daughter is my caregiver, so she's trying to help me get back into my Instagram because I have so many emails in one of my emails. So if you could, I'll spell it out. Official, OFFICIAL, Y as in Yankee. Yeah, official.
Yeah.
I'll spell my name. Y as in Yankee, V as in Victor, E as in Edgar, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, E as in Edgar, C as in Charlie, A as in Apple, D as in Dog, E as in Elephant @gmail.com. So my first official, my first and last name @gmail.com.
Okay.
Yvette Cade.
I definitely, Cade. Sorry, I mispronounced your last name, Cade, CADE. Okay, no, definitely. We'll definitely stay in touch. It is, and Adams makes a great statement. We need to seek help for we need to seek help for mental health. But once your mental health struggles are documented, if you face legal issues in the future, the mental health issues will keep coming up, even if they are minor. This is 100% true. I hope everybody will seek help for their problems, but make sure that you keep this in mind. Also keep in mind that when your job pays for your insurance, if you can't afford to pay for mental health out of your pocket, I know if it is expensive, but it is in your best instance to do that if you can't afford it, because you don't know that if you do pay with insurance, your employer has a right to your mental health records.
They own me.
Capacity. Yes, they own them in a limited capacity. Yes.
And they will subpoena my records. T-Mobile has so much money, they will subpoena my records. Nothing in my life is personal. And it's like I'm POW. I'm a prisoner of war. And I live in the DMV. I go on Capitol Hill, but it's time for me to go on Capitol Hill to start fighting for persons of disabilities that are being taken advantage of. I appreciate. I do want to speak out more. So if you could see, I don't get on the
I will
computer and things like
100%.
that. I'm retired.
Listen, I
But
will
if you
100%.
show me how, I will. My daughter will help me. I just
Okay.
maybe 2 days ago, I went back on Facebook. I was so scared
Oh,
of social media. So if you go on, I am the real Yvette Cade on
okay.
Facebook. That's where I'm at, and I learned how to do it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. I'm definitely going to reach out to you. We're definitely going to. Don't worry, I'm very persistent. I'll find a way to get to you, Miss
I know
Kate.
you are.
Don't worry about that. I will say a couple things. Let's bring one more caller in, and also I want to thank. Well, no, stay with us. Stay with us. Naomi
Oh,
Child of Yawa said, I know Yoruba Yawa. Okay, Child of Yawa. Okay. Miss T said, thank you for keeping us all entertained and informed on the latest celebrity news. I'm always watching, even though I never really leave a comment. Thank you so much, Naomi. And listen, call in next time. Don't worry, girl. My moderators stay with their finger on block quick. It's always super respectful and it's a safe place. But thank you so much, Naomi, for sending the super chat and actually like adding to the conversation. We appreciate it. Let's bring on our last caller. Hold on one second. I just got to read this. 1 second. Let's see. Oh, David. Hey, David said you're finally 1,000% stating facts. Just saying, best show ever. Finally, excuse you, but thank you. I'll take the compliment. Best show ever. Share, like, and pass on. She is on point and on fire today. Thank you, David. Thank you. Let's bring one more caller on. Let's see. And also, listen, I would love, listen, I do a lot. I mean, I know I talk trash online. I also do.
I love you, girl. No worries.
No, but listen, I do a lot also offline. I want to help amplify your voice and get involved and see what I can to actually help because you hit so many cross sections. Issues with how we treat people that are labeled mentally disabled, how we treat people that are victims of domestic violence, how we treat people that are victims of toxic interfamily relationships. You know, and it's such a blessing that you are here to see your daughter's 29th birthday and you're growing and thriving. And I really do thank you for sharing your story with, and you've touched so many people in the chat. So many people want to get involved to help and also share your story. So I know it takes a lot of courage. I know on social media, 89% of people ain't ish, but thank you so much for coming forward and sharing your story. Let's bring on our last caller. We have let's see, we have Nosy Hucks live. Hey, how are you?
It's
Thank
actually
you for
Nosy Whole Live. Hey, everybody.
Oh, okay, sorry. Nosy live. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, I do have to go soon. I was, waiting to try to give you all the tea. I'm a celebrity news blogger. I've actually spoken to someone who works with Wendy, but I can't really get too much into it now because, it's been quite a minute. I wanted to share what I know, but I'm just running out of time. But Wendy Williams, this is about Wendy Williams, right? I just want to make sure I'm not off topic. We're talking about Wendy and what happened with Kelvin and uploading a video, and Wendy just did her live. Is that what we're talking about? Because one of my viewers sent this to me and said that this was about Wendy, and they know I'm the Wendy expert.
Yeah, so this is about Wendy, but we're also just talking about the banking system, mental health, and other issues like that.
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm not off topic. I heard people talking about Wendy and what's going on with Wells Fargo, and they hope that Wendy can get her money. I'm just going to speak as someone who has been working following this story very closely. Wendy does not need to have Wells Fargo give her money. Wendy is in danger. That bank knows what they're doing. Kelvin Hunter has been taking Wendy's money. They need to hold it because she has dementia and she doesn't know what she's doing right now. And that's just the truth. And I love Wendy. I love Wendy Williams. I'm one of her biggest fans. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
How do they know she has dementia?
Did you see her live today when she said that her doctor released some information?
No, well, she said a doctor released information and she didn't even know those medical records existed. Usually when somebody requests your medical records, they need to get your approval or sign off for them to send it under HIPAA, and that's a federal law.
Unless you are like a danger to yourself or something, then they don't have to do that.
Even
Is
with
that
your
true?
danger. So
Well,
even in your
I'm not a doctor, so I'm not trying to speak from a
Oh no,
doctor.
I know a little bit about that. Even if you are a danger, they would have to either get permission from your next of kin or your power of attorney. As it happens, she does have power of attorney and
Her,
next of kin. So if any medical information was released without her knowledge, it is a violation of HIPAA law. And a bank's right to your confidential medical records do not in any way override HIPAA law. That is something that is, it's like you might as well put it as an amendment of your constitutional rights. So if what they're saying is true and doctors gave records and Wendy's next of kin or Wendy's power of attorney actually outweighs next of kin, there's just no way possible that information was given legally. Now, maybe it was given, but it was not given legally. And if it wasn't given legally, it shouldn't be admitted in evidence as a court of law. It's not admissible in her actual guardianship case. So it's a non-factor and a non-starter. Now, Wells Fargo can use this because it's not a court of law. Wells Fargo could use that illegally obtained medical information to base their decision. But again, once you get to a court of law, you need to show where the legal, in the discovery and in the court, you can only give legally obtained information. That might have been what started it, but that means that their argument wouldn't hold up in court. So this doctor thing, I think they might have used it as an excuse. But again, that doctor would lose his medical license. There's just no way you can violate HIPAA law.
I wonder how they got that information in, because it's really strange. But I do feel that the way that Wendy was talking today, when she kept repeating herself and she kept saying, this is not right and it's not fair. And she said that like 10 times. My father had dementia, and I've seen people with dementia do that, repeating themselves over and over. So I think that Wendy does have dementia, and it does feel like it's not fair for the bank to keep her money. But I also feel like the bank might feel that they could be sued if she keeps having people take her money out of her account and she's not aware of what's going on. Do you think that's what's happening? Because I do.
The thing is, I don't know what's happening. I just know that the bank is not operating above board. You have someone that Wendy does not want any contact with, even with a guardianship, since you do have a power of attorney and you do have family, even a sister who's a lawyer, right? You do have all that stuff. So there are other people. It is very odd. It's very odd, the person they picked to represent and the person they're supporting. It's very odd that they did not contact next of kin. It's very odd that this doctor, this mysterious doctor, gave medical records. It's very odd that gave medical records. So that's very odd. So that's what I'm saying. Nobody knows what's going on. But if this is to believe, then that doctor should lose his medical license. And the bank did obtain illegally. And the bank has a fiduciary duty. They can even lose their things. They obtained illegal medical records illegally. The bank should have an issue. Again, we'll see what happens in the guardianship case. Everybody left or right says, I have the strongest case. I have the strongest case. I understand that. It's just the point of, given this fact set, the bank's the one in the wrong. And we'll see how this guardianship actually holds up,
Yeah,
So we'll see.
We'll see. Well, hopefully Wendy can get someone that actually is on her side, because I don't think that she really has much real support. But we'll see like that. Yep. I just wanted to share that.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for bringing me up.
Thank you so much for coming in and actually sharing this tea. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so sorry. So there we go. Okay, so thanks so much for everybody for coming in. So also, Yvette, I want to get back to your story. How you said this has been going on since 2006. Since you've been doing your advocacy, have you actually met other people that are in the exact same situation you are, as far as having access to huge amounts of money, but people actually taking over and trying to get access to that money? Have you met anybody that's kind of in the same situation?
Well, I kind of, what do you call it, Champagne? Disappeared for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
My father had early stages of dementia, and I hear what the young lady said. People try to push their own agenda to take over. Wendy can still, yes, she may repeat herself. Like I repeat myself because I'm frustrated and I know what I'm talking about. But no, I haven't met anybody in, this is like one in a million. I haven't met anybody like me. I have to compare myself to Britney Spears. When someone said it to someone compared me, what I'm experiencing as Britney Spears. And when I hear what's going on with Wendy, that's a trigger for me and things like that. One day I'm just working, taking care of my daughter, and I get out the hospital 3 months later. When I get out the hospital, which was supposed to, I should be covered under HIPAA, but people are snapping pictures and everything. My family or somebody in the hospital leaked. News reporters are outside because there's gasoline in the car. I was having a panic and anxiety attack. So it's kind of difficult for me to talk to, anyone about my situation. You know what I mean? It's really difficult. And the people that are around in this area, I feel like since I got set on fire, I'm a target for scammers and people just using my story and trying to take my illness. Like my sister got on the news and said due to my what did she say, Champagne? Due to my disabilities. What did my sister say on the news? Due to your limitations. Oh, due to my limitations. But there was no limitations when I was going all around and doing what you said to do. So really, I don't know anybody that's just like me, really.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry that I'm making you, I don't want to be insensitive and make you relive, like, how did you feel?
Oh, no, you're fine.
Sharing that. I was just wondering because it's kind of like with this Wendy case, and the more I started reading about it and doing research, everybody's situation is different, but the one thing they have in common is people try to take a hold of their finances. And if it reaches a certain point, the bank will try to get a hold of the finances too. Again, it's really dark when you start to get into how people are, it's really odd the way people try to actually get into people's money and what they'll do for money and what people will do for some change. Again, I used to think that when you heard about somebody selling their soul, they're getting like hundreds of millions upon billions. Like, ask me how much my soul is at. I'm like, well, what continent are you giving me? Let me see, right? What continent? I want Asia, EU, and I want North America too, But the whole thing is, I've realized the more I've seen in life, it doesn't shock me that people sell their souls. It shocks me that they sell their souls for such like little amounts and the evil things people do for a little bit of money. When you're like, are you kidding me? You could have earned that. It boggles my mind. So,
you know what, Tisa, I wanted to say, because I'm about to leave myself, but I wanted to say first, I love this conversation as always. But I want to say right to Miss Yvette, you know what? You blew me away. I'm just saying that recently, you blew me away. That you came up here. You've been so brave, so beautiful. And you really did add, for me, another face to what we were discussing, which was that it could be Wendy Williams or a person like you, Miss Yvette, that could be caught up with family difficulties and have these issues. So I just want to say thank you for coming here, Miss Yvette. You were wonderful, and just thank you to the audience and to Miss Tisa Diva, of course, and I always got your back.
Thank you, Mel, for adding to the conversation always and moving the conversation forward. You are always loved and welcome on this channel. You are the OG. Thank you so much.
Like Vicky Younger said, she said she the OG, the OC. I'm the OG of Tisaville over here. So anyway, I'm just gonna make a little joke. But yeah, I just want to leave you ladies to have a wonderful conversation, and just again, everybody's been wonderful. But yeah, Miss Yvette, your story, I'm sending you good vibes, very good vibes. I hope you have a wonderful night, everybody, and have a great
day. Thank you so much, Mel. So let's get our last caller in here. We're going to get Mia in here. Mia is a social worker in DC. And you wanted to weigh in on everything. And you said you shared your email address. I don't know if Yvette knows how to do you know how to go into comments, Yvette? Well, anyway, Moon, I'll connect you guys.
I thought I was blocked. I don't know. My daughter's here. She'll help me.
Okay. So Moon, I'm sorry, Mia.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Why don't you weigh in on
this?
this?
Is my first time doing this, so I'm kind of new. First, I wanted to clear up the misconception that people with disabilities don't have any rights. People with disabilities actually have more rights than us without disabilities. There is a lot of places and people who can advocate for you. Listening to you, Miss Yvette, it sounds like no one's pointing you in the right direction. So I left my email. I want to talk to you. You should be able to reach out to the DDA and correct that power of attorney or guardianship problem that you have. It should be really simple. It shouldn't really be that hard. If you email me, I might can connect you with some resources to help you do that. I work with community connections. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that in DC, but that's what we do. We allocate.
Take down this number. I have a Google number. But you too, Tisha. 202.
She gonna give it over the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Don't do that, mommy.
I don't know.
Are you able to see on my email?
This isn't my real number. This is a Google number.
Okay, so you can change it when you want. Okay.
Well,
do you have access to the email? Because I wrote down both of your emails, so I can do a group email too.
Okay. Yeah, my daughter's reminding me because some crazy lady faking like turkey bacon.
Mia called, but I was just like, wait a second. Yeah, I'll do a group email for you guys as soon as this live's over and connect you guys so you guys can talk.
Right.
And
I would love to help you. Yeah, I would love to do anything I can. But as far as Wendy, after hearing Kevin, like you said earlier, Tisa, and let me say, Tisa, I am so proud of you. You are so beautiful and so smart and so poignant, girl. I'm like Black girl power, girl. But as far as Wendy, like you were saying earlier, Tisa, I'm so glad that Kevin spoke and actually gave some face and personality to himself, and what didn't let himself be paraded around as the bad guy, as the villain. Because if you listen to the things that he was saying, he said the same things that Charlemagne was saying when they first started beefing, and Charlemagne doesn't even like him. So for him and Charlemagne to be saying kind of the same thing about Detmar Mercury, it kind of makes me think that they are really the problem. I feel like my intuition, I feel like Wendy just needed a break. Could you imagine your mom dying, you're going through a public divorce, and having to sit in front of people every single day without having to take a time for yourself to just recollect your thoughts and figure out how you're going to move forward? You got to sit up every day and put on this happy face and talk about all these other people when there's a whole lot of stuff going on in your own head. I think that's what was happening. I think when she had her break, she got comfortable.
That was my break. My father was transitioning and I wanted a break. My immediate family wouldn't give me a break. That's you hit home right there.
Yeah,
she needs a break.
I think when she had her break, she realized I just need to sit back for a little bit. And I think they wanted to push her to work because they know no one can really fill her shoes. And with her out there, they were going to eventually start losing money. So I think they just wanted to push her to work. And I can see, I don't know if it's just me being one of those always in love type of girls, but I can see why she kind of felt for Kevin. Because he gives off that protective vibe. He was really, really protective of her.
The abusive protective vibes. Absolutely.
Yeah. I can see where he was abusive. But I can see where he was her enforcer. She can go through the door with him behind her. And it's whatever I'm about to negotiate, it's going to go this way because you're going to have to deal with him. And I think losing that Suge Knight type, person behind her, it made her really vulnerable. And now people are just trying to take control of her. And anybody coming up here talking about Wells Fargo should take her money is suspect. That is that lady's money that she didn't work for all her life. If Wendy wanted to take that money out the bank and burn that motherfucker, it's her right to do it. It's her money. Nobody should be controlling that
Right.
person's money. And even in your situation when you get a rep payee or whatever the case may be, if somebody makes a purchase that you do not authorize, that is an automatic federal offense. And here in DC, there's no state jail. So you go straight to Fed. I know a girl right now who I was working with who stole or swindled $500 from somebody and is going to federal jail because of that. So
Well, you need to give me the number. I need help.
Yeah, so there are a lot of outlets for you, and I want to help you. But I just wanted to say that I wish Wendy the best. I've been watching Wendy for a really long time. I identify with Wendy because I always say she is a woman who she made it on her own. She didn't get to where she was on her back or with her looks. She got there with her smarts and her wits. So I just always admired that about her. And just seeing her go out like this, it really hurts. So I just want us all to pray for Wendy and wish the best. So,
exactly.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in, Mia. I'm going to connect you and Yvette. And I also, really quick before we go, I want to say thank you to Veronica Enriquez Baudine for becoming the newest member of the Tattle Tells. I really appreciate it. You guys, my members only live are super lit, super fun. This is a more serious conversation, but we still kept it good. But the members only live, we just get straight into gutter and just sit there and talk, roast, drag. It's like sitting around with your messiest girlfriends having a good time. Please do please, when it comes to that, make sure you sign up. Everything is all good. Also, let's see. I'm going to try to see if I can get Attorney Jess Jonda in here tomorrow to literally talk about what's going on with everything. Also, Confessions of a Jaded Optimist. Thank you so much, Confessions of a Jaded Optimist, for joining the Tattle Tells. I appreciate it. The members only live is going to be lit next week. It's going to be full of mess. I don't even want to talk about this because we just finished holding hands and having a prayer circle and singing Kumbaya. I'll save the messiness for when we on live. But you guys, literally, Attorney Jess Jonda is going to be following us, joining us to actually break down the legal documents. I will say this, right? The one thing I noticed yesterday, Wendy was spotted at the Newark airport, flying down to Miami. She took the red eye, I think 10, 11 o'clock, and she landed in Miami around 12:03. So she took like the 9:50 something red eye. I will say, I think one of the reasons that, which is interesting, that Wendy actually is commenting, it looks to me she probably was here for a hearing on the conservatorship. I'm sorry, on the guardianship. Don't forget, the court records were sealed. Nobody can say anything, but I'm willing to bet, right? I'm willing to.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble here.
Oh, sorry. I'm willing to bet that Wendy literally had a court hearing for the guardianship, and that's how the Sun got their exclusive, that they decided to wrap up the guardianship with the thing about actually getting her money straight. So Wendy looks like she's in for a long, complicated, expensive legal fight. And it's a shame that this is actually happening to her. But it's a shame that it's actually happening to her, but it's a fight she has to fight. And I'm telling y'all, it's like, listen, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, the bank's right. The bank ain't never right. The lawyers ain't never right. If you think these people really care or are operating with integrity, maybe, but you're on a 50-50 thing. And judging how things have actually wound up, judging up by how things have actually wound up, it leads me to believe that they are not operating in her best interest. They are looking at her as a commodity. And anytime somebody sees you as a commodity, whether you are a child star, whether you are an actor, whether you are whatever, it goes. I will just actually also say, I want to say thank you to a few people. Shanna McGee, thank you so, wait, what happened to you? Wait, hold on. Oh, here we go. Veronica Enrique Baldine, thank you so much for joining the Tattle Tells. Let me just say thank you to everybody who's been showing me love. Confessions of a Jaded Optimist. You know, that should be my channel name. I like that. Confessions of a Jaded Optimist. Thank you for becoming a member. Also, Leah Ann Martis, thank you so much for the super sticker. Mariam Morgan, thank you so much for the super sticker. Giselle, woo! Welcome to the super chat, right? Star, thank you so much for the super sticker. And of course, Miss Kitty Cat Queenie. Y'all, I will say something. My members are so beautiful. Look at Giselle. Look at Miss Kitty Cat Queenie. Thank you. And also, oh, is that it for my members only? Okay. Maybe somebody else will join members only live. But you guys, thank you so much for joining the members only live. But again, I think it's fair to say, right? Again, Tiffany Wynn says, Wells Fargo has been sued before and lost because of discrimination and other reasons among other banks. Again, Kamala Harris, this is true. Thank you for bringing that up. Won a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against many banks and won billions in 2013, right? It was like 2013 to, it was the fallout after 2008. So it was somewhere 2012 to 2014, 15, that circa. But yes, you are 100% correct in what you're saying. I'm literally just telling y'all, like, subscribe, whatever, but I'm just telling y'all when it comes to institutions, we serve no one, especially ourselves. I don't care if you are black, white, yellow, polka dot, black, white, Puerto Rican, it don't matter. We do not serve ourselves where we blindly put our trust in corporations. You don't even realize in America, half the rights that banks have and corporations have in America, they don't even have those rights in the EU because they look at it as violating our human rights. I'm not saying all banks are bad. I'm not saying all corporations are bad. I am saying that you need to treat them like you are walking down a dark alley at night and they are coming towards you with their hand in their pocket. Now, maybe they got something on them, right? Maybe they don't. The point is, you always, when you see somebody's rights being trampled on, you always need to take a closer look at that. And again, the controversy with the medical records, if everybody is saying is true, and everybody seems to agree from all sources, whether you think the bank's doing the right thing or not, that there is a doctor that gave out confidential medical records, that's all you need to know about the people involved. Because if you are obtaining medical records illegally, there's a reason, because you can always go to court above board and literally legally obtain medical records. There's a reason why medical records, if this is true, was secretly given while somebody secretly also applied to be a guardianship. Why? Because they 100% wanted to do everything in the dark. And that's the thing about courts. Once something is established, it is near impossible, not impossible, but it's very difficult. And it's more importantly, it's very costly to undo a bed that has been made in court. And that's why they were trying to sneak attack. And once they have a hold of Wendy's money, what is she going to do? Look how long it took Britney to get out. And Britney is worth probably double what Wendy's worth. But I actually don't know. Maybe Wendy and Britney are banging neck and neck. But you see what I'm saying? Fuller effect.
I'm sorry. Check this out.
Yes.
Check this out. When I was in the hospital, why do they have, like, everybody got the tape of me running on fire at T-Mobile? They never got my permission.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can see it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It reminds me of, there was so Fuller Effect. Thank you so much for joining the Tattle Tells. You guys,
can you hear me earlier? I'm sorry.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining Fuller Effect. Thank you so much for joining everything. Thank you. Hold on one second. Hold on. Thank you so much, Fuller Effect. I really, really, really appreciate you guys joining the Tattle Tells. Again, subscribing, liking, my members only live. They are completely lit. But I do want to say this. To your point, Yvette, Pamela Anderson actually had a case with Tommy Lee. She actually sued the people that stole her tape and distributed it. And this goes into, there's a commonality to what you're saying. She sued the people. The courts actually went and said that because it had already been public property, that her body, even her nude body, was public property, and she had no rights to stop distribution from her image. Now, this happened in a string of larger cases when they were talking about what do you do about people that have been victims of horrendous things, that have had horrendous things happen. Who owns the rights to this? It's very, very sad that when it comes to situations like that, the courts have decided that these rights are owned by everybody. Now, and the thing is, maybe it's something that you can fight, but it's so costly and so time consuming that most people just literally kind of give up on everything. I do know that. So it's like, we'll see if we can put you in touch with people that can help you fight the fight and really get. But again, with the legal system, we have to remember the American legal system. They give you the opportunity to have a fair and just trial. It is not a right. The right is attached to you having enough money. There's a reason why 95% of all cases in federal court ended up settling, because people don't have the money for the attorney. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Members Only Live. I promise you guys one thing, just as an aside, this is just lightening things up. Join my Members Only Live. It's only $4.99. You can cancel it anytime you want. It is worth the price of admission. We happen every other Friday. It's a nice community. You can call in, you can joke around, but I be bringing y'all dirt. But also, if you like washing your clothes, cleaning your house, if you're walking around in the supermarket and none of your friends are picking up, you can pop in your earphones and have a good kiki with what it feels like your best friends literally talking about silly, mindless, but accurate gossip. So you guys, it's $4.99. You can cancel at any time. Go on and support your girl, whether you do it now or not. I would really appreciate it. But I'm telling you, we have archives, current stuff, and then every other Friday is when we go. And also, you guys, I know producers, I know flight attendants, I know actors, I know models, I know a lot of people. So a lot of dirt I give. If you guys for Members Only Live, it's like, yo, have you heard anything about this? Have you heard anything about this? When it comes to gossip, I can always dip in and get some tea. So support the Members Only Live, because you know what? On this channel, we believe in doing two things at once. We can be serious. We can be about that social justice life. We can be about moving the community forward, and we can still drag and roast. Because if you know, I think that's the most authentic Black experience, right? All those things, we do it all at the same damn time, right? You know, we do it all at the same time, right? Anyway, Yvette, thank you so much for sharing your story. We very much appreciate it. And we'll definitely make sure that you and Mia definitely get in touch. Chocolate Badilla said those lives are
Thank you.
good. You're welcome. Let me just I'm gonna put you guys in touch, drop you guys off the screen, and then put you guys in touch. Oh, but before we go, Yvette, please, why don't you share, and Mia also too, if you'd like to, why don't you share with us anything you have coming up, anything you'd like us to know about? The floor is yours if you want to share anything.
Well, I did a documentary for HLM, but right now it's in the process of being transcribed and everything. So I can't really it's called Lies and Crime, 6 to 8 months. So right now, that's all I have.
That's awesome, though.
What you mean that's all you have, girl? You're like, that's all I have. There's a documentary coming up. That's awesome. That ain't all you have. You're like, that's all I have. A documentary coming out. Listen, make sure you go to the official YvetteCaddy.com. She's online. Go and support. Let's do what we can. I'm going to put you and Mia together. And Mia, did you want to say any words before I drop you guys down?
What happened to Mia?
I don't know. Mia, did you want to say something? Mia must have muted herself. That's cool. And again, Buzzworthy, Mama, you're back. Did you want to say anything before we drop down?
I am so sorry, y'all. I've been following you guys and then working at the same time. So I was multitasking.
Girl, do not apologize. We are old friends, Buzzworthy. You don't gotta apologize. You guys do make sure you go over to YouTube and follow Buzzworthy TV. Definitely some great content. Make sure you follow her. And you guys, all jokes aside, make sure you sign up for the Messi's Members Only Live. But all jokes aside, I will honestly say, and please hit that like button on your way out. I do want to say that all jokes aside, And I know I made light of the situation in the very beginning, but the more it started crafting into what it is, the scarier and scarier and scarier it got. You guys, we have to start holding a line. And this literally does cut across race, creed, religion. It literally is, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but y'all know I am dramatic. It literally is a war of haves and have not. What the banks, if they are allowed to do, will do. Again, this is not Wendy's karma. This is literally the banking system stepping, if what Wendy's saying is true, stepping over the boundaries. It is a story about a woman that built everything. But like most women, when you climb to the top, you're standing on the top of that mountain alone. And even the person that promised to love and protect you is throwing stones, trying to knock you down. Any of us could be Wendy. Half of us will be lucky enough to be Wendy, maybe not in gossip, but at the top of the game where you literally pass insurmountable odds, you pass demons, you do what you can, you climb to the top, and even those people that are supposed to protect you are throwing rocks to pull you down. We really do need to keep Wendy in our prayers, regardless of what you think about her. Nobody deserves mess like that. There's a lot of sharks in the water, and we need to just really keep Wendy in our prayers to hope that this turns out to her favor, you know, listen, and like B said, it's not dramatic, it's a fact, but it's actually really scary what's going on. And again, this isn't a movie, this is somebody's real life. And it just saddens me that a woman, and as women, the sacrifices we make to get a job at Taco Bell, the sacrifices we make to get a job at 9 to 5, the sacrifices we might make to slide down the pole, the sacrifices we might make to run $1 billion corporation, or to be the sacrifices we make as women that we have to make to get ahead, and to see it all pulled away. It's just, yeah.
This is my last comment.
Yes.
Everybody, you need to get a will and think of who you would have as a power of attorney. Life insurance policies, make sure somebody knows how to get that information.
Definitely.
That's it. All right. Thank you.
Definitely. Yvette, thank you so much. That's great advice. You guys, start talking about power attorney. Start having things, and start having a living will. You can get it off of LegalZoom. Again, you never know. You never know when you're going to need it. And by the time you need it, it's too late. So get it early and get it often. Set up your estate. If you don't have any estate, set up a power of attorney. Like Yvette said, you can get those documents and just get them notarized. Again, by the time you know you need this, it's usually too late. So get it now when you don't need it, all right? Abundance and blessings to everyone, and sending all the healing, positive, protective energy out to Wendy Williams tonight. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for the live. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks so much, everybody. Good night.
And good night, everybody.